guys, so welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to be talking about all of the books that I read this summer and letting you guys know what I thought. So I did start a book club with two of my friends. We read all of these together, we picked them together, and we wanted to read very light, fluffy romance books. So that's basically what this book review is, except for the first one. That's the one that kind of started this whole book club, but I will get to that. Just gonna talk about each book, let you know what I rated it on Goodreads, and just tell you a little bit about it, what I thought. So let's get started. So the first book that we have here is The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, and this is the prequel to the Hunger Games trilogy. I love the Hunger Games. I've been a fan of it since it first came out. I love the books, I love the movies, I love the Hunger Games. So of course I was hesitant to read this at first because I didn't think it was gonna be as good as the Hunger Games. I didn't want it to change my mind on the series, but oh my gosh, this book is amazing. So like I said, my friend Elisa and I read this together, and this was kind of like the start to our summer book club because we were bored during quarantine, so we were like, let's start a book club. We absolutely adored this book. It is basically about President Snow and why he became and how he became how he is now. I love it. I love it so much. You empathize with Snow, but then you also hate him at the same time because you know how he is, and this explains so much. The writing is amazing. It's Suzanne Collins. So good. If you love the Hunger Games and you haven't picked this up yet, definitely do it. Oh, and if I didn't mention, I gave this a 5 out of 5 on Goodreads. So next we have The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. I read this book. This was the second time I read it, and this was like our first official book club book. I love this. It's a hate to love, trope about these two co-workers, and it's so good. Hate to Love is one of my favorite, but this book is so good. It's just light and fluffy and a lot of banter between the two main characters, and I don't know what to say. It's a hate to love. It's so good. I rated this a 5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. So next, I don't have the book anymore, but we read Billy and Me, and this is a YA novel about this girl from this small town in England, and this big time actor comes and films a movie in her town and they fall in love. I rated this 2 out of 5 stars. The three of us in general did not like it. It is very juvenile in our opinions. We are not big YA fans. At least personally for me, I just feel like I can't relate to it. I find the characters annoying a little bit, but what I will say is I do think I would have loved this book just in high school. I would have loved it like 10 years ago. But if you are, younger and you are, if you are in high school, I think you would really enjoy it. I love that it took place in this tiny little town in England, and the main character, the girl, works at a little tea shop, and just the scenery of this book just made me feel like warm and cozy and made me want to open up my own tea shop. So I did like that aspect of it, but in general, I would not recommend this book if you aren't really keen on YA. So next we have kind of the start of our new favorite obsession, and that is The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. I will say these authors, I should say, because they're a writing duo, they are our new favorite authors. Like seriously, we love all their books. We've read, you'll see in a minute, but we've read a ton of their books so far, and this book is about it's another hate to love. So the two main characters, their siblings are getting married, and the whole wedding party except the two main characters get sick from the food at the wedding reception, and the bride and groom give their siblings the trip, their honeymoon. So the two of them, they hate each other, bicker, they really don't like each other. They go on a honeymoon together, and they pretend that they're married. It's just so good. The two main characters, I love them. They're relatable, they're funny and witty, and I really love Christina Lauren's writing style. But I absolutely Absolutely love this book. This is my favorite Christina Lauren book from all the ones we read so far, and I think if you just want like a light and fluffy summer read, definitely pick this up. It takes place in Hawaii, so very summery. Yeah, rated this a 5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. So next, another book that I don't actually own because I read it as an ebook. It's called The Match and it's by the author Sarah Adams. So this book, I rated it a 3 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. I liked it. I didn't love it. It's about this girl who has epilepsy. She has a dog. Why can't I remember the word? But basically she has a dog to help her with her epilepsy and her seizures, and she works at a company that trains the dog. Give these dogs a home for people who need them. So this girl, she meets this guy who is a single father, and his daughter actually has epilepsy, and she gets a dog, and so I think you can tell what's going on from here. The girl, the single dad, spends a lot of time together. So this book was very cute, very like cutesy, fluffy, summery read. It takes place in the South, so a lot of like southern charm. I found it a little cheesy. I didn't really connect too well with the main characters, but overall I think it was really cute. It was a quick read. Next we have another Christina Lauren, and this one is Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating. This is about two best friends, Josh and Hazel, and basically they try and date everyone but each other. Like I keep saying, I think you could tell where it goes from there, but this is just so cute. The main characters are very relatable. Hazel is very quirky. Josh is very meticulous, I could say. Like they're kind of like opposites attract. I love this book. Another great Christina Lauren read. Definitely pick this up. I rated it 5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. The next book we have Meet Cute by Helena Hunting. This one I rated 3 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. Again, it was cute, not what I was expecting. Didn't love it. So this is another hate to love trope. It's about these two, the two main characters. They were always in a competition with each other in college, and now the guy, his parents have passed away in an accident, a car accident, and he has to take care of his younger sister, so he becomes like a single dad. The two main characters are lawyers, and so they have to work together because of the younger sister. It's cute. I liked it. I do enjoy hate to love books, but I don't know, it was just like lacking something. It was a little cheesy, but again, another quick, cute, light and fluffy read, perfect for the summer. So next, another Christina Lauren. Obviously you can sense a theme here. This is Roomies. This I think is my second favorite Christina Lauren book, if not tied for first with The Unhoneymooners. So this is about these two characters. One is a girl about 25, doesn't really know what she wants to do in life, very relatable. And the guy who is he's from Ireland, he's an illegal immigrant. He went to school in New York. It takes place in New York, which again, relatable for me. But he is a musician looking for his big break since he graduated college. She kind of discovers him. Her uncle is a composer at a very popular Broadway show, and they get married for the green card for him to have his big break. It goes from there. So I loved this book. Like I said, it takes place in New York. I love that. And also just the like relatability of the main character. She didn't know what she wanted to do in life. She was very stuck and going back and forth and struggling with her talents. She's a writer, so she was struggling to write, and I feel like that is very relatable. The main guy, he's, like I said, from Ireland, and he plays guitar. So I know this is not how they describe him, but I just pictured Niall Horan the whole time because he's supposed to be like super good looking, from Ireland, and a guitarist. So like obviously Niall Horan. So next we have a book that I didn't completely finish, but it's on here because I skimmed the rest, but it is The Library of the Lost and Found. And this one, I am so sorry if I mispronounced the author. I believe it's Phaedra Patrick. This book, when I read the synopsis, it sounded so interesting and like a super cozy book. In the fall, I like to read books about like libraries because it's just very cozy to me. So I was like, this is perfect for August, fall book, but it's kind of more like cozy, if that makes any sense. So it's about this woman who works at a library, and she's kind of like down in her life and kind of is a people pleaser and says yes to everybody. And then a mysterious book shows up that kind of unleashes this whole mystery about someone that she lost, her best friend that had passed away, and you know, maybe they haven't passed away. It just sounds so interesting, right? No, I gave this a 1 out of 5 stars, and if I could give it 0 out of 5 stars, I would have, because it is just so boring. Just the writing style is so boring. Every character is so boring. Every character, you either find them just so like blah, or you hate them because they're just a terrible human being. Like, I only read to chapter 6 fully, and then I skimmed the rest. It's just so boring, and the ending is just, it falls flat. I feel like there was so much potential for this book. If you're thinking of picking this up, don't do it. It's not worth it. It's just bleh. That's how I can describe this book. Blah. And the last book that we actually just finished is another Christina Lauren, and it is my favorite half-night stand. This one, I think you can tell by the title, it's about a half-night stand. So these two, another like best friends kind of book. These are two best friends, and they sleep together, and then they try to avoid it, and yeah, it just kind of goes from there. This is actually my least favorite Christina Lauren book. I found it a little boring. I didn't connect to the characters as much as I did with the other three. I don't know, it kind of fell flat for me. I wasn't a fan of it. It was hard for me to pick up, although it is Christina Lauren, so the writing is great. I don't know, the way they write, it's just, I really like it. This one, not my favorite Christina Lauren. I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars, but it is still a solid read. I would recommend it if you want to read Christina Lauren. I would just pick up the other books that I mentioned over this one. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Those were all the books that I read this summer. I would like to keep doing this maybe every season, so let me know down below if you would like to see that. We are reading a lot of books, my friends and I, so a lot of books to kind of talk about, discuss, and recommend. So yeah, let me know down below in the comments what you think, if I should continue this. Also, let me know down below if you've read any of these books, or if you plan on reading these books, or what books you read this summer that you really liked. So yeah, give it a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're not already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching.